Hi everybody and welcome back to Room 9, our region's largest classroom. My name is Miss St. Louis and I'm a teacher at Rogers Elementary School in the Mehlville School District, and we are located in South St. Louis County. Today I'm here to teach a reading lesson that's geared towards students who are in the 3rd grade, but all learners are more than welcome to join and explore along with us. So let's get started. This week we have been talking about all things drama, and I'm very excited. So to review, a drama is a play that is acted out in front of an audience. It tells a story. Okay. Plays are made up of acts and scenes. So acts are major sections of a play, and they're made up of scenes. Scenes are small sections of an act that take place in one setting, right? So within an act, we could have lots of settings, but each scene is a new setting. We also have a script. Now, scripts are the written words that tell a story. And within that script, there's dialogue. And dialogue are the words that the characters say. Okay, so when we're watching a play, we're hearing dialogue. Oh, my pages are stuck. Okay, also within the script, there are stage directions written, and they're the instructions that tell the actors what to do, right? So actors aren't just standing up there just talking to each other, they're also doing movements and actions, and that's written into the script. Now, we have characters in plays. Characters are the people, animals, or things that act in a play. Okay, and so remember, not all characters have lines too. Some of the most important characters may not even have any lines. We have narrators, and that's the person or people who tell what is happening, right? So they're not a part of the physical story, right? They're kind of on the outside telling what's happening as it goes on. And we have props, and those are objects used to help tell the story. So props are really important too, because we might have some really important props. So those are the elements of dramas that we have been talking about this week, and we will see some of those in the drama that we are going to read today. All right, but before we get into our drama, let's get ourselves ready, right? Well, can you open and close, or move up and down your eyebrows? Squeeze your eyes shut, open them real wide. Squeeze them shut, open them real wide. Can you wiggle your nose? I'm not really good at wiggling my nose. Can you do a big smile and a frown? Get your mouth ready, because we're going to do lots of speaking today. Wiggle your fingers and your head back and forth and forward and backwards and around in a circle and around in another circle. Wiggle your arms, wiggle your body. It's always good sometimes just to take a quick movement break. Help get some of that blood flowing back through your body. Really help get that movement back, especially if we've been sitting or in the one place for a long period of time. We want to help to keep our body flowing, right? So a little bit of movement can help bring some of that energy back, keep our body moving really, really good. All right, so now that we are all moved and ready, today, what we're going to do is something a little bit different than we've done the past couple days. We are still going to read a drama today, but we're also going to read a book that has the same title as the drama. What? Today, we're going to do a little comparing and contrasting. So, to review, because we talked about this a couple weeks ago, all right? But just in case you didn't talk about it with us, let's go over comparing and contrasting. Comparing is talking about how things are alike. Contrasting is talking about how things are different, okay? So today we're going to talk about how the drama that we're going to do is just like the book that we're going to read. But we're also going to contrast them and talk about how they're different. Okay? So we will be using a graphic organizer today to help us find some of those similarities and differences. So we'll be using a Venn diagram today. So the story that we are going to read today is called The Ant and the Grasshopper. So we're going to start off by reading the book. Okay? The Ant and the Grasshopper. One day, Grasshopper was laying in the hot sun just singing. The ants were busy finding grain to store for winter. Slow down, Ant. It's too hot to work, called Grasshopper. You should be finding grain for winter too, Ant called back. But Grasshopper paid no attention to Ant's advice. When the cold winter came, the ants kept warm and ate their grain. One morning, the ants saw Grasshopper. May I have some of your grain? Grasshopper asked. Where is your grain? Ant asked Grasshopper. I was too busy to go find any, said Grasshopper. I was too busy singing to go find any, said Grasshopper. You can have some grain, but next year you must find your own before winter, said Ant. The end. Okay. So what happened in this story? Do you think you can retell it to me? What happened in this book? Yeah, so at the beginning, right, Ant is collecting different seeds, right? He's getting ready for winter, and Grasshopper's just out there singing around, you know, being kind of lazy, right? And then winter comes along, and the ants are doing fine, right? They've got all this food that they have stored up. They're doing great things. But then Grasshopper is getting hungry. He has no food. He was too busy, like you said, singing to collect any food. So at the end, the ant agreed to share their food with Grasshopper, right? And reminded him that next year he needs to be a little bit more responsible, okay? So yesterday we hit a little bit on theme again. What do you think the theme of this book is? What is the author trying to teach us in the Ant and the Grasshopper? Yeah, they're trying to teach us, right, that hard work pays off, right? It doesn't do us any good to be lazy, right? To just wait around. We shouldn't rely on other people, right? So there's a lot of things that we can learn from this book. Okay, so what we are going to do now is we are going to do our drama, okay? It's got the same title, The Ant and the Grasshopper. So we have some characters. We have the narrator, the ant, and the grasshopper. So as I read the lines, I'll hold up the names of the different characters so that you can kind of go along with me and know who I'm pretending to be right then. How does that sound? Okay, so let's start, right? We're starting a brand new scene. So let's think about our setting for this. So our setting for this scene is that we are outside in the summer, right? In a field. So there's lots of grass and flowers around next to us, okay? On a beautiful summer day, the grasshopper sat and sang a beautiful song. The grasshopper saw the ant working really hard to carry food back to his home. Look at that silly ant. All he ever does is work hard, and he never enjoys all this sunshine. The grasshopper laughed at the ant and continued to sing his song. He basked in the sun all summer long without a care in the world. Let's pause for a second. What do you think that word bask means? He basks in the sun. What's he doing? Right, yeah, he's just laying out there in the sun, right? Getting all those, filling up on all those sun rays, all that vitamin D. All right, we'll get back into it. As summer turned into autumn, the grasshopper continued to sing his song and enjoy the sunshine. The ant, on the other hand, kept gathering food and storing it in his home. Then winter came, and the cold winds and snow blew, and everything was covered in a layer of white. Grasshopper tried to find food, but he found nothing. And eventually, he had to knock on Ant's door and beg for food. Please, please help me. I have nothing to eat. Ugh, I'll starve without your help. Well, my dear grasshopper, all summer long, I worked hard to carry food to my home. And all you did was play in the sunshine. I'm not going to share my food with someone who's so lazy. I was busy singing my song. I was just making music. What am I gonna do now? The ant thought for a moment and then said, oh, wrong card. The ant thought for a moment and then said, well, I suggest you dance. And the moral of the story is, you must do the work before you take the time to play. The end. So that is the end of our drama. Okay, so now let's review this drama. What happened in this drama that we just read, The Ant and the Grasshopper? What happened at the beginning? Yeah, so the grasshopper, he's singing his song, enjoying the sunshine. Yep, and Ant is gathering his food that he needs. Yep, he's putting it all in there. Then what happens next? Okay, yep, so winter comes, gets cold, there's snow everywhere. There's not a lot of food left to find. So Grasshopper is left without any food. So now he's got to think to himself, what do I do? So he goes and he knocks on his friend Ant's door. What does Ant do? Yeah, Ant tells him, well, you shouldn't have been singing, right? Should have been out there collecting food just like me, and then you'd have something to eat. Okay, so what we're gonna do now is we're gonna do a little comparing and contrasting. So we need our handy dandy whiteboard. And we're going to use a Venn diagram to help us. So Venn diagram, ooh, that marker's no good. Is 1, 2 circles, okay? So we have, right, we're talking all about the Ant and the Grasshopper today. So we have our prose, which is our book, right? And we have our drama. So these two pieces right here, right, are going to be all of those pieces about that text. This overlapping circle here is what they have in common, right? The things that are similar between the two. So sometimes I find it easier to start with the things that are the same. What did we notice? What's the same about these two stories? Yeah, so the ant, right, gathers his food. Okay, what else? What's the same? Yeah, the grasshopper likes to sing, right? Okay. Is there anything else that they have that's the same? Grasshopper goes hungry, right, in the winter. So during winter, I'm gonna write GH, grasshopper goes hungry. Okay. Yep. So the grasshopper asks ant for food. Okay. Now, these stories were actually a little different. So, what do we know about the prose, the book? What happened in this book? Yeah, Ant agreed to share his food, right? He looked at him and he said, oh, all right, I guess I'll share with you, but next year you have to be willing to go out and find your own. Okay? What happened in our drama? Yeah. Ant did not share. What did he tell him to do? Yeah. Told the grasshopper to dance. So these stories, while very, very similar, right, have a lot in common, ended up having different endings that kind of changed the entire story, right? Kind of crazy how just one small thing could make such a big difference. So let me ask you, if you were the ant, what would you do? Would you share the food like we saw in our book? Or would you not share the food like we saw in our drama? It's a tough question. Sometimes questions like these are kind of hard to think of an answer because until we're in that situation, we don't fully know what we're going to do. It's a little bit of a moral dilemma, right? I would like to think that I would share the food, right? And I would share with those who needed it. That's what I think I would do. I think I would be able to share something with them, right? It's always nice to help out those who need assistance, right? Even if it's just a little bit of help. Anything is better than nothing, right? Exactly. All right, boys and girls. So, today is Thursday, and whoop, that's my little Winifred. I know that today is Thursday, but it is my last day with you this week, so I thought we could end with a little fun game that ties into our drama week, and we could play a little game of charades. What do you think? Would you like to play a little game of charades? All right, I'm going to act some things out, and I want you to try and guess to see if you know what I'm doing. Are you ready? Okay. Yeah, I was being a bunny. Good job. All right, next one. Very good, right? Lion or tiger, excellent. A cat, very good, very good. Oh, someone got it. There was a giraffe, right? Long neck, long neck. Good, an elephant. Oh, you guys are really good at this. Okay, let's see if I can get a little bit trickier. Try and trick you. Okay. I'm going to try and do some things. Can you guess what I'm doing? Yeah, blowing out candles. Good job. All right, next one. Reading a book. Oh, you guys are good at this. Excellent on the computer. Very good. Video games. Oh, you guys are good. Hey, that's right. I am cooking. Excellent. Not a very good cook though. So, charade cooking is about the best cooking I can probably do. Okay, couple more. Very good. I am grocery shopping. All right. Yep, I'm cutting the lawn. Ugh, that is my least favorite chore to do, cutting the lawn. It's so hot outside. It makes you so sweaty. Gross. All right, last one. Are you stuck? I'm a kid watching Room 9. I'm just like you. That might have been my favorite charades to do. All right, boys and girls, thank you for playing along with me. That was a ton of fun. Charades is a really fun game that you could even play at home, right? So yesterday I challenged you with trying something new. So maybe what you would like to do is try and play a game of charades with someone at home, right? Or with a neighbor. They might really enjoy that. It's a game that you don't need a lot of stuff to do, right? You just need 2 people and you can act things out. It's really fun. So I'm so glad that you joined us this week and you got to be with us as we talked all about dramas and the elements of drama, and got to be with us as we explored some new types of text. It was really, really fun, and I'm really glad that you got to join us. I hope that you'll join us again tomorrow as we dive into the world of social studies and science, as we do every Friday here in Room 9. But if we don't see you tomorrow, I hope that we see you back here next week so that you can explore with us something new in the worlds of reading, math, and then on Fridays we'll do social studies and science. So until we see you again, I hope that you guys have a fantastic weekend, and we'll see you when you come back to Room 9. Bye everybody, thanks for coming.
Teaching in Room 9 is made possible with support of Bank of America, Dana Brown Charitable Trust, Emerson, and viewers like you.